Hey everybody, Jason here. I've got another video for you guys that's a little different than what I've been doing before. This is pretty interesting. So a friend of mine named Alex works with my wife, told her that he wanted to see me do a video of just like a random box of crap that I have in my basement, which is where I record all this stuff. So we moved in like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. However long it's been, like 2 years or something like that. So the basement's still a mess. There's crap. There's boxes everywhere. What you see behind me is just like a small smidge of all the stuff that, that I have. So, and even that looks like chaos. It's crazy. So I know what's in most of these boxes, but I don't know which boxes they're in. Like for example, the box that I chose says RPGs. So I know there's RPGs in it, but I don't know if there's anything else. And I haven't looked in these boxes for a long time. I have a general idea of what this stuff is, but I'm not like completely sure. So I'm just going to open this thing up. I'm going to pull this stuff out. I'm going to show you what's in it. If it's crap and it's not interesting, you'll never know because I won't upload the video. But I just chose the heaviest box I could find. Here we go. I'm not even going to look in the box. I'm just going to randomly pull something out. Yep, these are definitely books of some sort. We have here... Oh, wow. Now, a lot of this stuff is books I've read, but like role-playing games I've never actually played, which that's a whole thing. Anyway, check this out. Fireborn, the Game Master's Handbook. Never played this game. It's by Fantasy Flight Games. It's out of print. It's a game that I've wanted to play. I heard it's got a really bizarre system. It's not very intuitive. It's kind of crunchy and has not gotten good reviews. But the reviews on the lore of the game world itself have been pretty good, as far as I can have ever read. And if I remember correctly, again, I've never played this, there's two different settings in the game. There's like a ancient history part, and then there's a modern part. And the modern part, from what I read of it, seems a little new or World of Darkness-esque, where you're playing humans and this and that. But the ancient part of it is where you're playing a dragon. And so you go back and forth in your campaign between playing a dragon in the ancient times in the story to the modern time. Well, in the modern time, even though you're a human, you're actually a dragon, reincarnated as a human or something like that. That's why you're connected to that past dragon life or whatever. Anyway, very cool story. I'll probably, unfortunately, never get to play it, but I would love to. The only way I'd ever get to play it, and half the stuff I ever want to play, is if I DM'd it, or GM'd it, sorry. But there is the Game Master's Handbook, and as you can see, I got this from Half Price Books forever ago for $8. So after having pulled this out, I think I know what's next. Yes. Take a look. Take a guess. The Fireborn Player's Handbook. Again, from Half Price Books, like 11 years ago. For $8. I think they got a whole stock of these, like just boxes of these brand new, because I remember when I bought this, there were tons of each copy on the shelf, and you don't mark a book down from, let's see, $30 to $8 at Half Price without there being a surplus of it somewhere. These were all brand new. These were never played. They're in mint condition. You can hear the spines cracking as I open the books up. But very cool stuff. Again, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll play this. Maybe somebody out there watching this will want to get into a game with me. I don't know. Here, check out the character sheet. I love character sheets, by the way. Couldn't tell. I don't know if it's going to zoom in good. My lighting down here in the basement's a little different these days, so see how well this looks. Okay. I believe those are the only two Fireborn books that I have, so we'll see what's next. I'm guessing it's not a Fireborn book. Oh, Another book, again, a lot of these I've read because I love reading role-playing game books, but I've never played because well, anybody who plays role-playing games knows that it's not easy to put together a group to play tons of different games. But you can read a million different game books and incorporate ideas from that into your current campaign, or if you're not running the game, your character, or a story for your character, or a background, or anything. It's just you can mix and match stuff for days with role-playing games, regardless of whether or not you play anything. Like I could take an idea out of that Fireborn book for a character that I'm playing in 5th edition D&D, and things like that. But anyway, check this one out. Mage, the Sorcerer's Crusade. Now, I have played some World of Darkness back in the day. My friends and I used to play Vampire the Masquerade 2nd edition, and we did nothing really with the vampire clans as far as like all the politics and stuff. We had it set in Columbus, Ohio, which is where we lived at the time, and we just did random things. We were just thugs, and we went out and did random things and played. We had a blast. It was very fun. And we've been wanting to do. We had talked about, my friends and I talked about doing something like that similar again. But anyway, Mage the Sorcerer's Crusade by White Wolf. Yeah, interesting. This feels like a box set of some sort, not a book. Oh. Remember when this came out? The Invasion of Theed, Star Wars D20. Yeah. Terrible, terrible Star Wars rules. Let's see what's inside here. Oh my. Look at this little, I don't know if this is Chewbacca or if this is just a random Wookiee, but let's see what the box says here. Exclusive. It just says exclusive figure. Anyway, here's a little, still in the package figure. Not that I'll zoom in or not, but for a focus. And I got a couple issues of Star Wars Gamer in here. Some of these Gamer books were really freaking good. Like these Star Wars Gamer. I don't know if you guys ever read any of these. Really, really good stuff. There was only like I think 10 of them released or something like that from White or Wizards of the Coast. Like this one has a free miniatures game in it called Silent Death. Silent Death was not a Star Wars game, but they took the Silent Death rules, like a Starship game, and put it in Star Wars, which is kind of cool. The whole thing's in this book. This one was really interesting. This was the premiere issue, and they had statted up using the D20 rules from this original edition of D20 Star Wars from Wizards of the Coast, the Duel of the Fates, Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. They took the stats of both characters and blow for blow, scene for scene of that whole fight in the movie, showed how it mechanically would play in the game. And it was actually pretty well done. That was a very interesting little article that it had. Oh, man. Yeah, Starfighter PlayStation 2 fiction, if that tells you how old this thing is. The box is not in perfect condition, but it's not terrible either, I guess. Let's see what we got next. I may have to look in here and move some of this stuff so it doesn't fall over and get busted up. Okay, so what I did was, after a quick break, I took a lot of the books that were not box sets or whatever and set them like that so that they wouldn't be falling over and mashing up. So I saw some of the stuff that's in here, but that's all right. Next book. Oh, man. This was a little generic-ass game. I don't think anybody besides myself owns a copy of it. And if you do own a copy of it and you're seeing this, I'm sorry that you spent $10 on it. Who knows? It may be awesome. I've never played it. It's called Dark Realms Role-Playing Universe. Created by Ryan Johnson. Thank God not that Ryan Johnson, because that guy's an ass. Thank you for screwing up Star Wars. Sorry. So, I have no idea what this game is about. Nice generic little cover there. Let's see, it's got some really strange, well, there's very, very little art inside of it, but it's kind of strange. It's interesting. Very crunchy looking little system. Gosh, I shouldn't say very crunchy. I should say there's a lot on here for the character sheet, but it doesn't look super crunchy, I guess. Detailed, but that's about it. Check that out. It's a character sheet for it. Yeah. I have no idea what this is about. It says, countless dimensions from a place we call Earth lies a vast expanse of darkness enslaved by turmoil and strife. The lords of this region constantly strive to expand their destructive influence. The shadows grow long. Darkness spreads as far as the eye can see. Evil seeps through the endless void. Chaos reigns. So, yeah. Oh, of those who have ventured into the shadowy domain, only an unfortunate few have survived to impart the tales of the Dark Realms. I may have to just keep this out and run a game of this for my friends next time we have a game night and some people don't show up, because this is probably pretty weird. Never know, it could be freaking awesome. Let's see, copyright 1997 by Ryan Johnson and John Ross. Yeah, this could be awesome. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we won't. Next. Oh, okay. This is good stuff right here. Not a role-playing game. What we have here is Star Wars: Empire's End, eclectic graphic novel. Good story. Dark Empire, the first Dark Empire 1, but Dark Horse Comics is probably my favorite non-canonical Star Wars story. I loved that series. I loved, I'm trying to remember who did all the Cam Kennedy, I believe, did the artwork. Tom Veitch, I think, was the writer. I could be mistaken about those. It's been a long time since I've read it, but very good stuff. I'm not going to recap all that here, but Empire's End, good stuff. If you have a chance, you can probably find this at Half Price Books or something really cheap, or Amazon.com. I'm sure has it. Let's see what else we got. Oh, another one. The graphic novelization of Alan Dean Foster's Star Wars: Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which was a fantastic novel. Splinter of the Mind's Eye was a novel that took place between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, before Empire Strikes Back even came out. This book was released because they didn't know if they were going to do Empire Strikes Back. They didn't know if it was going to make enough money, or Star Wars make enough money to do all this. So just in case it never got released, they had this tie-in novel that was kind of cool. It was weird because back in the Legends timeline for Star Wars, when this thing was canonical, it was technically the first meeting between Luke and Vader, not on Cloud City. So that was very interesting. And it was a very bizarre meeting between the two. I'm not going to ruin it for everybody, but it's a really, really good book. I highly suggest anybody check it out and read it. The graphic novel itself is good too. I suggest the novel, though, over the graphic novel. I mean, you can't go wrong either way, but the novel's fantastic. What's next? Oh, another book I've never played, and probably will never play. Legacy: War of the Ages, aka the Highlander role-playing game, or Dollar Store World of Darkness meets Highlander. I mean, look at some of this artwork. I don't know why. Here's a cool guy with a trench coat and a sword, a la World of Darkness. It's the early 90s, mid 90s. Anyway, the Conclave, the Legacy, the Last Immortal. I'm not going to read any of this to you guys about this, because this is literally Dollar Store World of Darkness meets the Highlander, which, I don't know, maybe cool. Maybe really freaking cool. This is one of those books where I'm sure I bought it intending to create an adventure for my friends and stuff, because most of the time I would buy these weird random books with intentions of running the game for my friends, and we never did. We always stuck to D&D or Vampire 2nd Edition. I think that was about it. I don't know if we played many other things besides that, but next. Ah, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Game over, man. Aliens, the role-playing game by Leading Edge. Notorious for being one of the most complex role-playing game systems ever. Super crunchy, super detailed. Never played it, but most people haven't. Even most people I think that bought this didn't play it because it's, from what I understand, virtually almost unplayable. I never bought this game to play it. I actually bought this from the Guard Tower when I was in, like, I don't know if I was in middle school or early high school, probably early high school, because the lore of the Aliens universe was so detailed in this book. This is a great read. This is a really good read. This book's fantastic to read. Playing it, maybe a different story. But, yeah. Next. I don't want to go into too much detail about all these because this video is going to be like a half an hour long. Oh, here's some World of Darkness for you. I think this is the 2nd edition of this game, Mummy, The Resurrection, for World of Darkness. I was a big fan of the 1st edition of Mummy. I loved how simplistic but packed with lore that the 1st edition of this was, that I bought the 2nd edition. Basically just to use the lore out of it. Never really did, because with our vampire campaign that we were playing, I say campaign, it was really just a string of adventures that had nothing to do with anything. I was intending to bring a mummy in. I don't believe I ever got to do that, so maybe I'll get to it at some point. Ooh. An original copy of the Wraith the Oblivion World of Darkness. It's got the little glow-in-the-dark cover. Man, if you've ever read Wraith, you'll know that this is a fucked up game. It's just dark, it's depressing, it's twisted, it's fucked up. Just your characters are wraiths. You're damned. And if you die, it's basically your soul goes into oblivion and it links out of existence, I guess. I never played the game, but here, check this out. So I open up the page here, and I've got a music review of ripped out of the Columbus Dispatch. Sunday, November 13th at Battelle Hall, Columbus Convention Center. It was 9 Inch Nails with the Jim Rose Circus and Marilyn Manson, which was Marilyn Manson's first national tour. Gosh, when was this? October 13th, 1994. Check that out. And with it, I got a little review of of the show. I'm not going to read this to you, the whole thing, but it says, how often do you get to see a guy chew and swallow a light bulb? Pick up 2 iron weights with chains attached to his earrings, snake his entire body through the opening of a tennis racket. That was stuff that happened at the Jim Rose Circus sideshow. That tennis racket thing was awesome. Anyway, Wraith of the Oblivion. That's an original copy. Maybe worth some money, I don't know. Oh, okay. Not a role-playing game. Batman Arkham City role-playing, video game guide. How interesting is that? However, check this one out. When you flip it over, it's got Batman. I'm sorry, not flip it over. It's actually got the Arkham Asylum guide in it as well. It's both books, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City strategy guide for PS3. Fantastic games, by the way. Oh, the Apocalypse Stone for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. Oh wow, written by Jason Carl and Chris Promise. So yeah, this is this was intended to be the last adventure you ever played for second edition AD&D, because it literally ended your campaign world. It destroyed your world. We never played it. My friends and I never played it, but we wanted to. Story of our lives. Here's another written by Chris Perkins, Advanced D&D Second Edition. Also, Warriors of Heaven. I don't know why the fuck I bought this. Because I really have no interest in celestial races or playing a celestial character. I don't know why I bought this. Unless it was for the Tony DiTerlizzi art in it, maybe, or the shit ton of spells that's in it. Maybe I had background for something. I don't know why I bought this. I have no idea. Oh, here we go. Die Vecna Die for AD&D Second Edition. Another one we never read. Gosh, it goes all the way from Greyhawk to Ravenloft to Planescape. It goes through all those worlds in AD&D Second Edition. This is a big ass adventure. This is 150 pages, 160 pages. I'm sorry. Wow, never played it, but you never know. Maybe someday I will. Probably not. Oh, here's a AD&D Second Edition, a revision, a revised edition of Axe of the Dwarvish Lords. Check that out. Another one that I've never played, probably never will play. Never played the original either. 5 to 7 characters, the levels 13 to 15. It's interesting. Well, there's a little map book here at the back of it. It's kind of cool. Let's see what we got. A Star Wars Insider. Issue... Shit, I don't know. Oh, issue 88. July and August of 2006. Ooh. Classic D&D. You know, in the world of like Mystara and stuff. Or I should say basic D&D. You know, race as class and all that stuff. Check this out. The Gazetteer for the Shadow Elves. It's interesting. That I may have used at some point. This one I know I've used at some point. My friends and I played this when I was younger, when we were younger. Basic D&D, the Dimrak Dread. Remember this one? I know some of you do. Oh wow, I love that art. Was it Larry? That was easily, yeah. Yeah, fantastic. That's good stuff. Man. This is a couple of blank character sheets and a graph paper of, this is this is a layout I was drawing of one of the fire trucks from the department I was on. I was on a volunteer fire department. I was a volunteer firefighter for a number of years, and I was making out layouts of certain trucks and where certain equipment was on trucks, so I would remember. And this was the beginnings of that. I ended up not needing it because I did it a different way, but that's what that is. Oh, yeah. This is a good. Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai, Forrest Whitaker. This is a role-playing game by Guardians of Order using the Tri-Stat system. I love the movie Ghost Dog. Fantastic movie.
Stupid fucking white man.
This was a unique game in that it was intended to be played by one game master and one player. You could probably do more, but it was intended to do that. So I think, other than obviously wanting to play in the world of Ghost Dog, excuse me, I got this because I wanted to see what the information it had on playing as just information it had to play just one GM and one player, in case I should need it later. But yeah, this is awesome. A lot of stills from the film. Tri-Stat system was very interesting. Yeah. Next. Oh, Dragon Magazine, number 270. This is back when, let's see, what edition of rules do we have in here? Look, judging by the art, I would say second edition AD&D. Yeah, second edition AD. It's got Thaco in it. Oh, there's a cover. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, another issue of Dragon. That was 270. This is 271. What's that say? Oh, puzzles for D&D and stuff. Diabolical puzzles. Oh my. This is a strategy guide, another strategy guide for a video game. This is one of my favorite video games of all time for PlayStation 1, Medieval, with Sir Daniel Fortescue fighting the evil wizard Zarok. Fucking love this game, man. Little platformer. It's like a it's a gothic horror type funny game. You know, platformer like Crash Bandicoot or something, but you played the skeleton or a knight, Sir Daniel Fortescue. Freaking awesome. Apparently they're remastering it for PS4, which is supposed to come out sometime in 2018 this year. So hopefully it happens, because that would be a day one buy for me. I love that game. Back when 3rd edition D&D first came out, there were, because it had the the open gaming license, the OGL, lots of companies jumped on and started making 3rd edition products. This was a trilogy of books, a trilogy of adventures. I'm guessing the next 2 books in here are part of this. Yeah. So, the Witchfire trilogy. Never got to run it. I loved this story, reading it. I may actually have to convert this to 5th edition and run it for my friends. Check this out. There's the first one. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. I hope those focused in. Yeah, I'm not going to read about what it's about, but the Witchfire trilogy. Oh my, yeah. Speaking 3rd edition, the original Player's Handbook for 3rd edition. I do not like 3rd edition. Not a big fan of 3rd edition. It's too crunchy, too much math. And then the DM's Guide. The original DM's Guide. This is not 3.5. This is actual 3rd edition. So, yeah. Running out of stuff here. Let's see what else we got. Sorry, this pile here is getting bigger. Oh, here we go. Ah, now this is the good stuff right here. So this right here, the Forgotten Realms box set, 2nd edition AD&D. You know, you got your core books, your 3 core books, your Player's Guide, your DM's Guide, and your Monstrous Manual. You need those 3 to play. This right here, campaign setting, this gold box, this is all you need. Other than those 3 books, you could play D&D forever with just using this. This is classic. This is a must-have for any 2nd edition D&D player. This was ridiculous. Let's see, reach back there and reach all this stuff. Ooh, here's another really good one. Never got to play this one, unfortunately, but I really, really would have loved to. And this is in really good condition. The Birthright box set for AD&D 2nd edition. This is really heavy. I think there's something else besides the core books in here. Or is it really just that heavy? No, it really is just that heavy. All the card stock and all those little pages are still in here. Birthright, awesome stuff. Birthright was one of those things where, you had your whole land and it incorporated owning land and being a king or a prince or an owner of some sort, a royalty of some sort, and owning land and, skirmishes and things like that, not just dungeon crawling. It was Birthright was very much governing kingdoms and all that stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. Unfortunately, never got to play it. I would go back to playing second edition just to play this. Let's see. Oh, we're getting down to the last couple things here. I'm going to take a look in here and see if I can pull these out without dropping them. Okay. This was one of my personal favorites growing up. My friends always hated it when I ran this because they hated Ravenloft. I love Ravenloft. I'm big into the horror stuff for D&D. I don't do a lot of horror movies anymore like I did when I was younger, but D&D, man, I loved Ravenloft. That was my shit back in the day. And my friends all hated it because it was so hard and, you know. But anyway, this was the original box set for Ravenloft. And this is heavy too. I wonder if there's anything else in it besides the original books. Or maybe these... No? Nope, these box sets were just so jam-packed full of awesome shit back in the day that they're heavy as fuck. That's how awesome second edition stuff was. It was just information all day. Oh, okay, this was the Ravenloft AD&D second edition Ravenloft box set, Forbidden Lore, which was an expansion box set. It was about the just like forgotten knowledge and old, you know, stories and things like that. Had a Taraka deck in it. Oh, and Daikesha dice. Check these out. I still got all the dice. And the Taraka deck, I saw that in there too. These dice, man. I don't know if you can see these or not, but not coming into focus very well. Sorry, but yeah, that's awesome. That's the good stuff right there. And I think this is the last thing in the box here. Correct. One last AD&D second edition Ravenloft box set. Requiem, the Grim Harvest. Yeah. This right here was a box set where you took your character beyond death. I mean, there was some adventures in here, but it actually had the rules for playing undead. Skeletons, death knights, vampires, mommies and zombies, all that stuff. God, this was good stuff. I didn't know this was written by William Connors and Lisa Smedman. Lisa Smedman is a fantastic author. She has written a lot of Forgotten Realms novels. She's really good. Oh, wow. Holy shit. I shouldn't open this up. It's got all of the Ravenloft stuff in here, but it's also got two old yearbooks from when I was in a Catholic school when I was younger, in grade school. St. Mary Magdalene. Let's see. What year is this from? 1983 and 84. 1986 and 87. Here, I'll find a picture of me and I'll put it on here for you guys real quick. 1983 to 84. Had to have been in kindergarten. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, how sweet. Where am I at? My ugly ass is in here somewhere. Huh. Oh, yeah, there I am. There's me right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully that focuses into view. Wait, is that me? Yeah, that's me. Here's 86 to 87. I was probably in second grade back then. I remember my second grade teacher's name. Second or third grade, maybe. Oh, third grade. Looking as dorky as ever. I wasn't wearing my Robotech t-shirt this time. That's me right there. I don't know if it's going to go into Zoom or not, but yeah. So anyway, that was my box of stuff for Alex. Hope you enjoyed. Hope everybody enjoyed. I know this was a long video. Hopefully it wasn't terrible. And hopefully you guys had a good time going back and seeing some old shit you either remembered from way back when, or some old shit you never saw before and found it as interesting as I did, at least back in the 90s when I bought this shit. But anyway, that's it. Have fun. I don't have fun. It's like 9:30 on a Sunday, so hey, maybe you're not having fun right now. Anyway, I'm going to turn on some ministry, edit this video, and hopefully upload it. So, peace.